Hi, this is Joan, and what I wanted to show you is a video that came out, well actually two, but the first one came out a couple of weeks ago, and you probably already seen it. And what happened was this guy is walking down the street with his daughter, and he goes to a yard, and the woman comes out, and I'll just let you see it. And I know you probably already seen it, but what I wanted you to focus on is the little girl. Okay? Now, you saw what the dad did. The dad jumped on a car and left this little girl. And she is a little girl. She's not a big girl or anything. He leaves her to basically fend for herself. Okay. Now, I want you to look at, what does this little girl look like? This is a little brown-skinned little girl. Okay? So, I want you to compare, well, first I want to ask you, what kind of feelings do you think she'll have about men when she grows up? Better yet, what kind of feelings do you think she'll have about herself regarding men? Do you think that she'll grow up with the ideal that a man is going to look out for her, that he should look out for her, that she is valuable, that she is important, that she should be protected? Do you think that that is what this little girl is going to think about herself? I wanted you to compare that with what happened there, with what happens here. Okay, here we see a man sitting with his children in an auto shop. Some people come in and they start shooting. So this man, this hero dad, he puts the children all on the ground and he gets on top of them. And he protects them. He winds up getting shot 2 times. And you can see this on the Willie. This is Willie D. Yeah, you can see him there, but I'd like to make sure. I'm going to go back and make sure I capture the other person's name too. Willie D live. And this was September 26th that this video came out. And it's hero dad fired from 2 jobs after shielding his kids and shooting. Now, I think what he did was great. And I think that is what fathers are supposed to do. And mothers, you're here. Well, you brought these children here. You're supposed to protect them. So again, let's take a look at what the little kids look like. Now, you might be saying, what is she doing this for? This doesn't matter. But everything matters. You know, overlooking things makes you overlook things. You don't see stuff happening, coming right up on you if you aren't paying any attention. So, okay, where's the little kids at? Go back further. Okay, the automotive shop. Okay, they're the little kitties. Now, you see, these little kids seem to be just a little bit lighter, you know? And this is a dark-skinned guy. So, generally speaking, for him to have children this much lighter than him, chances are his wife is kind of on the light side. The darkest one might be this one right here. And, you know, you might be like, you're so petty. I'm not trying to be petty. I'm trying to make a point that we are taught from the beginning to protect light. Whatever is light skin is better. You go out of your way. You suffer injuries. You do whatever it takes to protect light. And the lighter it is, the more you protect it. Now, this might just be, you might say, well, this is just these 2 incidences. No, pretty sure it's not. If you look at videos, for a while there were a lot of videos where light-skinned women, it would be light versus dark, and light-skinned women would come out and say stuff, and dark-skinned women would come out and say stuff, and then black, dark-skinned women, or brown and dark-skinned women would come out and say, but we aren't treated as well, and then the light-skinned women would say, y'all just aren't as pretty, or either you just don't have enough self-confidence. Okay. This is part of the reason why you will see maybe not as much self-confidence in darker-skinned women, because our men, the people who have put down, who were, I think, put here to be protectors, do not see us as being worthy of protection. And it starts early. Our perceptions of ourselves start from the moment, I think from probably conception. We're getting some ideals, some clues from the outside world. I heard somewhere that there was a picture of a baby before it was even born crying. And to me, that's the saddest thing in the whole world. Your life sucks even before you get here. Well, at least your perception of it. So, this was something I just wanted you to consider. And I'm not saying anything. Generally, I don't like saying anything bad. My general stance is I like to encourage people. I like to see people happy. I like to, spread sunshine. I just don't really like saying too much negative more than I have to. But you look around the world and it's not all peaches and cream and sunshine and joy. Mostly, to me, the world is a bunch of sludge. So you might want to come out and say, well, at least the sludge has some moisture in it, and we can plant things in, some of it maybe. But, you have to call things what they are. And as I said from the very beginning, I think that men were put here first to be the guards. If you are building a facility, before you get the people in, you do bring on the guards. You put them in security and say, hey, you need to know where everything is. You need to be able to monitor everything. You cannot be dumb. You cannot be not watchful. And what it is I'm telling you to watch, you have to know it's valuable enough for you to actually watch it, for you to do what this man did. Throw these 3 kids down, get on top of them, and protect them. Okay? But unfortunately, our men have been shown that, well, your women and your children who came from that woman are not valuable. They are not good enough for you to protect. This is how you should treat them. Okay, this is how you should treat them. No matter how small, no matter how frail, you should concentrate on yourself. And I wanted to make sure I give credit for whose video this is. So this is, hold on one moment. This is Black Fox, okay? And there were people who defended him in this behavior, because this is a man who is really holding, as far as I could see, is really his programming as to what's valuable and what's not has really, really sunk in. Now, there are some men who would have children black as night, and they've still been out there fighting for them. I'm not talking about these men. And unfortunately, a man who does that is now probably in the minority, because it's like we're being fed poison, and that poison is really being fed to everyone. But I do believe that people have different roles to play. If you spread that poison to the security guard and tell him, you are here wasting your time guarding junk. What's over there in that other man's yard? Now that's worth guarding. You need to go over there and guard that. Now it doesn't matter that that man already has security. He's out there securing his own stuff. You need to go out there and secure it too. Because if you secure it, you'll get to be as great as that man is. That's what seems to be happening here. Because for this man to do this, and then you can't hear it because I'm not going to play the audio, but the little girl is screaming, Daddy, Daddy, and he's saying, go over there, go over there. How are you going to tell your little girl to go over there with a dog out? I mean, I could even see if this had been his first initial response and was to climb on that tree. Then he thought to himself, oh my God, what did I do? And he jumped down and got the girl. Or even if he had, it would have been bad if he had jumped down, if he had gotten on the car in the first place and forgotten her. But if he had even reached down and said, "Hold, catch my hands, I'll pull you up," anything. But he made no effort to protect this little girl. And she's screaming daddy, so this is his little girl. So, like I said, he has really swallowed the Kool-Aid. He's really dealing with the programming. He really, seems to agree with it totally. So, and a lot of people will say, well, it's that black woman's fault. She should have fixed the hole in the yard. Okay, where's a man? Okay, that's outside work. What did the Heavenly Father tell the man to do? Go out and tend to the fields, to the gardens. Where's a man at? And don't tell me, oh, she's so mean, that's probably why she don't have a man. Well, if a man is going to jump on a car, what's the use in having him? And like I said in my previous video, the last one I just did, people, especially men, will make this argument that, well, women, these black women only go for thugs. What else is out there? I mean, what else is out there that hasn't swallowed the Kool-Aid and isn't taking all their money and putting it into the white race or Hispanic race? Now Hispanic is the big thing. Or half white. And Hispanic and half white look a whole lot alike because they both share black ancestry mixed with whatever else was there. No shade, just saying that is pretty much what it is. So, black man, you can build up your community. You can tear it down. That's your power. That's the power the Heavenly Father gave you. He did not give that power to black women. And if you go through a poor neighborhood and you look around, you see black women and doing their best, a lot of them. Some of them are wretched, but some are not. But in any case, you'll see black women trying to do what they have not been put on this earth to do. We weren't put here to protect. I mean, nurture, yes. But as far as going out fighting lions and bears and racist other people, that's not our job. That's your job. As far as making sure the house is secure, your job, not our job. So, like I said, when you hear these men and some women making this argument, well, she only dates thugs. Why don't you introduce her to a man who isn't a thug who will be interested in a black woman? Okay? Introduce her to Byron Allen. He's a billionaire. What's that he got on his arm? Is it a black woman? Nope. When Kobe Bryant was alive, let's introduce him to a black woman. Let's give him brandy. What does he do? He gives her right back. Who else can we say? Puff Daddy. Let's introduce him to a really beautiful black woman. Not that the other women aren't beautiful, but most people agree that, I'm sorry, her name escapes me, but the woman he had the twins by was very pretty. What's he going to do with her? Well, let me have babies by her, cheat on her, and will I marry her? No. But let me go find J-Lo and let me beg her to be with me. Okay? So please stop putting this on black women. The community hangs on you. I mean, I don't mean to say, I don't know how to phrase this, because everything, the Heavenly Father's going to send His Son to fix it. But until then, you can look around black communities and you can pat yourself on the back, black men. It's not that you can't do it, because you did do it. You did do it after slavery was over. Black people were doing better than pretty much anybody else. That is why they wanted that's why you had Black Wall Street. And the other one that the movie was made on was many cities, small towns that did really well. Black people were doing well because they were segregated and the men couldn't get out like that dog there and go with other women. So their money stayed in the community. So their wives stayed healthy and beautiful because they were not bogged down with trying to be men and women at the same time. And their children grew up successful, intelligent, and healthy and happy because people were in the role that they were supposed to be, even if it was partially because they were forced to be because the men couldn't get out. Well, the fence is gone now, so we can see what you really want to do. And some of you have just decided to be so lazy that even protecting your own offspring is too much to ask. So, again, this is not to tear down black men. As a general rule, I'm very fond of black men. They're just very hard to come by. I mean, like I said in the other video, when you tell a black woman, hey, it's your fault, you should not have been with a thug. Introduce her to a man who wants her who's not one. Introduce her to a black man who wants her who's not one. And you'll see it's like going to a weed bush trying to pull out a rose. I mean, theoretically, at least, anything's possible, but I'd say the probability of that is pretty low. So, in any case, just something to think about, which is pretty much all I try to do in videos, is give you something to think about. And because thinking about stuff is mental exercise, and we don't need any fat clogging up our brains. So, you guys have a righteous day.